Hi, I'm Kerry from Mobilates, and I'm here at Virtual Village Hall. I come every Wednesday at 4:30, and we are going to have half an hour of mindful flowing Mobilates. So it's like a gentle Pilates, and we can stand, we can sit, and we'll do a little bit of lying down as well. You might want to pop a hello in if you're here. You might be a regular or a first timer, or welcome. Always good to have you here. Let's get started. So if you're standing, take your feet a little bit wider than the sort of classic hip width apart. And if you're sitting, the same, just so you're comfortable. And we're just going to let our arms float up and down. Who have we got there? Irene, hello. So think like you're painting the most beautiful painting. All the colours are coming out from those finger brushes. I'll show you from the side. We've got there, Jean, hello. Super soft arms. That's all that's happening as you're doing that. You can breathe in as the arms go up and out as they go down. In, out. You can even close your eyes if that feels good. Might try that for a few. And if you're new to these Mobilates sessions, try and be extra gentle. Keep the flowing movement, get things going, but just taking a bit of care where needed and giving you as much flow and movement as you can get. That's where we have a lot of variations. Last one like that. Just let the arms just hang down for a moment. Like one little wriggle. And then take your feet and your legs in. So when I say in, I look down between my feet. I want my feet to be parallel. And that gap down at the floor, at the mat, I'm imagining a book could fit in there. Just going along there. And it's exactly the same if you're sitting. If you're sitting, we sometimes do 2 fists apart. That can help as well. From that position, we're just going to do some pelvic tilts. And just dropping, feels like you're dropping your bottom down. Imagine this bit of your bottom just going slightly under. Lengthening here. You can see how that's going a bit straighter. And then rock forwards. And then you can see it lengthens. If you look at my top, you can see it's sort of straight there. And then it goes in a bit as I rock the other way. Doesn't need to be super big, it's just a little movement. You're just checking in with your spine, mobilising it forwards and backwards a little. And the movement comes not from your bottom muscles or even your legs, it's your belly tightening just a little bit, as if it's pulling away from your front jumper. That's it. Last one. Hello Mary, hi. Glad you could join us. And then just pause there. And I think we'll go for a little side bend. And down the other side. And when you go on these side bends, think about opening this opposite side up rather than trying to take that bit over. It's like a spring and you're trying to widen it. That's it. And we're just travelling, we're not holding it, just moving. Let's take the head on a turn. Keep your front just exactly how it was. So it's not following around with your head. Maybe opening up a little here, feel your shoulders going back. And then we're going to add a little nod downwards, tip of your nose downwards. I'm looking just towards my shoulder, but you might be looking more towards here. Doesn't have to be that far. Probably not behind your shoulder, probably not going that far. And then just stand a little straighter. I'm going to pull up that imaginary thread. Feel a bit more length in your spine. You've just grown a little taller, sat a little taller. And then feel like your head's leaning back and your shoulders are leaning back slightly. So if I do it from here, I'll show you how it looks. Back of my head goes back. Maybe my shoulders a little bit as well. Maybe, oh, that would feel like I'm leaning back in my heels. So I'm going to come forwards a bit more. feel like I've got that place, that lovely spot. And then let's start some shoulder rolls. Now if you're sitting, you can rest your hands as you do your shoulder rolls, especially if you've got really sore shoulders. And if that feels okay, then you can drop your arms downwards. And then you can bring your breath into it, breathing in as they go up and back, breathing out as they go round. You can listen in for your body percussion. I think you might know what I mean, those little clunky snap, crackle and pop sort of noises. All those air bubbles and the synovial fluid around the joints. That's it. Last one. And then we're just going to take the neck and the roll, so we'll turn to the side, look up, and then rolling down that chin's just semicircling, just over your collarbone. Trying to keep long at the back so that your head isn't falling forwards. I'll show you from the side. And again, keeping it moving. Last couple. And come to the front. And then I want you to imagine you're a puppet. So we're going to move one side at a time. And it's like you've got strings between your hand and your leg. So wherever you move your hand, your leg has to follow. And I'm trying, you can see I'm just going a little bit side to side with this. The weight's shifting, that's okay. Try not to move my hips from side to side. So if you look at the bottom of my top, there's none of this going on. That's not happening. Just keeping it as straight as I can. So to do that, I'm having to pull this low belly bit towards me a little bit, like I'm trying to pull it away from my top. If you're sitting, just the same. Heel raise at this point, you might be going up onto a bit of your toe or right onto the tip. Oh, I'm trying to get same side, that's what I should be doing. Not alternates. Easily confused with coordination. And then you can see if you can bring it maybe a little higher. Now this is a bit of a balance challenge for standing. You might want something to hold on to, and you can do a few on one side. But it's like there are strings, if I show you from the side, strings between your arm and your leg. You're trying to keep them the same distance apart. If you're sitting, you might even want to tip back slightly to do it, so that your back, your shoulders are just resting on the chair. Because that just means that it's easy to bring your leg up. But you can bring your leg up sitting just upright rather than tilted back. That's it. And then just let everything flop a little. Give everything a little wiggle. Then we're going into arms. So arms softly up and out. Softly up and out. And they're a little bit ahead. So we're not going right to the side. And both of them coming wide and out. Think sort of tulip shape, a flower. And then we can bring our heels up with this, bit of a balance. Slowly down if you can. The slower you go, the harder it is. And you definitely need that pulling in feeling again. Not like crazy, just pulling a little bit inwards as if you're trying to pull in from a t-shirt. Imagine a t-shirt's a bit wet. And you think, oh, it's a bit cold. That's it. And you can even, if you want to challenge yourself more, sitting or standing, bring your legs a little bit closer. And that just makes things a little bit more wobbly. Might be a lot more wobbly. You want a little bit of wobble that will just challenge things. Last one like this. And then take those legs out a little bit, just so they've got that book between them. Rest your hands on your chest. Softness in your knees. And we're just going to rotate at the waist. Don't have to go very far. But you'll notice as I rotate, this area is staying in front. Now if you're sitting, the chair will sort that for you. But if you're standing, you're going to have to imagine that you're sitting maybe on a high stool. And this is all staying forwards. And then next time we turn, we're going to open that arm, the furthest arm, downwards. Come back to the centre, turn. The other arm opens slightly downwards. This time, same thing happens. One arm opens downwards, the other arm's going to open up like a big diagonal. Bring them back in, turn back. It might be your arm just opens here, it doesn't go the full way, it doesn't matter. However far you want to go. One more each side. You might be able to do both hands together. And then let the arms swing down. Take the legs wide. And we're going to do some side bends with these wider legs. If you're sitting in the chair, it's going to look like this. You can either be reaching down your chair or reaching down my chair leg. There's my hand. And then we're going to bring a little teapot into it. So you can see that teapot, here's the handle, here's the spout. And as your palm goes out, it can face down, or it can face towards the screen, or it can face behind you. Doesn't matter. All those ways are just doing different rotations of your shoulder. Facing down is like a nice in-between place. Last ones. And then we're going to heel toe those feet in. Swing your leg out, out, heel toe in, and the shoulders are having a little rotation. Out, out, heel toe in. I'm going to show you the sitting. Out, out, heel toe in. We'll bring the arms in. Out, out. I don't mind if the arms are completely coordinated with the legs. One's going in, one's going out. Don't mind as long as you've got some action going. Last one. And then if you're sitting, I'd like you to have your legs a little bit wider, like that. Hinge forwards, hinge back, squeeze your glutes. You can have your hands here. Hinge forward, sit up, squeeze your glutes. If you're standing, legs are wide as well. You can see while I'm showing you to the side because we're going to squat. So we're going to send those bottoms back. You might want your arms forwards for this, like you're going to swim. And then as you come up, pull your elbows back. So send that bottom back while you're aiming for a seat. You might go low, you might be quite high. And then as you come up, elbows swing back. If you're sitting, you might want to add the swimming arms in now. If it feels too heavy, just leave your arms at your chest. And then you can slow it down. So you're sitting really slowly and then pull up a little bit faster. So sit back slow and watch your gaze. You don't want it down at the floor. You want it ahead of yourself. And one more like this. And then we're going to go into our roll down. So you can keep your legs wide and two versions of roll down. This one's going to bend the spine over. So keep the legs as wide as is comfortable. My feet are off the mat, so that's comfortable for me to be wider than my mat. I'm going to take my head back, make the back of my neck and back nice and long. And then looking downwards, looking down my chest, trying to roll my head down my chest. I'm going to want a soft bend in the knees so that my legs don't feel too tight. And then I can just hold it here. So just letting everything hang. Arms having a little spin around like I'm doing some stirring. You can take it a little bit lower. And then when you're ready to come up, you breath in. And as I breathe out, just slowly stacking myself back up, head is last. Now, if you don't like bending the spine, if that's not comfortable for you, instead Send the bottom back like with that squat. Keep your back straight and rest your hands on your thighs. So I'm not arched like that with my bum sticking out. Straight. Tuck your bottom under. Keep tucking it under. Let that ripple spread upwards. Feel yourself straightening and your legs are pushing up. Head is last. Same if you're sitting. You're tucking that bottom under right on the chair seat. And then with this next one, we're going to take it down to the floor. I say floor, could be bed. So if it's bed, just take your duvet off so you've got a little bit of a firmer surface. I shall see you down there. Just going to move the camera. Hope you're all doing okay. Oh, our cat's just rushed in. We might see another appearance of her. It's Buffy. She sometimes will come out and hello, Buff. She might sit on the sofa there. Right, we're going to be lying down on our backs. Just going to take my clock down so I can keep an eye on the time. You might want something under your head if that's more comfortable for you. And you need a bit of room at the end of your mat and a little bit of room up this end. Now you don't have to be down on the floor exactly the same time as me or on your bed. Take a bit of time to get down there. Have a little wriggle. I always like to sway a little side to side. It feels like my pelvis sort of spreads out, my shoulders spread out. Just getting used to that change in position. And then bring your legs together, feet together, heels now go out, toes go forwards and let your knees just part. And now you're all nicely in line. Rest your hands just on your low belly. And it's going to rock your pelvis backwards and forwards. So just like we did standing up, when we're lengthening the back. And when you do that this time, you can feel the back coming in contact with the floor, your low back. And then as you roll forward slightly, that's me rolling forward slightly. There's a little space in my very low back. I can't quite get my finger to it, but I know it's there. And then I'm going to tilt the other way. And again, it's just seeing how my back feels with gravity in a different place. Last one. And then just resting, pelvis slightly forward, so my back isn't pressed down, sinking to the floor. It's just slightly up. I'm going to keep it like that. I don't want it to change. Arms are going to go down by my sides for the moment. Palms just very slightly up. It's going to be legs first. Take a breath into your chest, trying to feel it at your back as well as here. So your back and your sides. As you breathe out, feel your belly tighten like it's pulling away. Slide a leg away. As you breathe in, slide it back. As you breathe out, slide the other leg away. As you breathe in, slide it back. As you breathe out, slide this leg away and the opposite arm is going to move back. Doesn't need to be to the floor, mine's going to be hovering in the air. Breathing in, take it down by your side, that leg's coming back. We're keeping everything really light, so that leg's just touching the floor. Oh, my arm isn't going to reach the floor behind my head, not at the moment. Might do on this go. Almost. But what I'm thinking about all the time is that my back doesn't suddenly start doing that. It's keeping still. And for that to happen, there's a bit of tension here. If this is okay for you, what you can do is you can let your leg float forward, just hovering off the floor, nice and long. That makes it a little bit more challenging. So you don't have to add that in, you can keep it with the foot sliding, but just in case you want it, last one like this. And then as the arms go down, this leg here, the knee's just going to sway towards you a little bit, but the foot is just turning on its side. This leg's keeping still. These palms are up. If you feel a little bit wobbly, you can take your arms a little bit further outwards. Same on the other side. Now the aim of this is not to take your legs super low. The aim is really to open up your legs without the other side going anywhere. So I'm keeping this leg still as this knee opens up from the hip and this stays the same. You can put your hands here to check that that's happening and you're not rocking from side to side. So I think we've got that going now. One side then the other. Next thing to do with this is to tag it on to what we just did. So we're going to leg away, arm away, I forgot the words. Bring it back and let the knee, same side, have a little sway outwards. Leg and arm away and back, and that knee has a little sway outwards. Breath in, leg away, arm away, maybe floating. Bring it back. Foot on the floor, knee has a little sway outwards. One more, leg away, arm away. Bend it back. And that knee has a little sway outwards. Oh, that felt wobbly. And then let both legs, so the knees both fall outwards, arms fall outwards, and just the slightest wiggle from side to side. Or you can just hold it there and just flop. And then take a breath in. As you breathe out, bring your legs together. We're going to roll over to our side and then onto our front. So you're rolling, so we're face down. You might want a cushion for your forehead. I don't tend to use a cushion for this, but some people like it. So forehead either going onto your cushion or onto your mat. And your arms, I want you to think like you're a rugby goalpost or a capital letter H. And this is the top half. So you can see that sort of shape. My elbows are coming out from my shoulders. My hands are ahead. Legs are reaching long. They're not together. They're just slightly apart. Feet are long. And then I want you to put a tiny tuck under on your bottom, just a little bit. So it's not arched and your bottom isn't sticking up, just slightly tucking under. Right, so the view is downwards, so it's your floor or your mat or your bed. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, feel like your shoulders just have a little roll. Then you're going to bring your head and your chest up. You're still looking down. You're not really pressing through your arms. They're just there as a sort of guide almost. And then take it down. You might have slight pressure. Breath in. Breath out. Just coming up. We can't go very far. We're just working those back muscles. Breath in as you go down. Breath out as you come up. And now you won't be able to see, but as I'm doing this, my belly is tightening and my legs are feeling tight and long, like they're reaching away. That's it. One more like this. Try to keep that pressure on the arms light, so not really pressing into them hard. And then put the hands under the head. Let the bottom have a little wiggle from side to side. And you can keep your hands there, so it might feel like you're just slightly higher, because the hands are just like a little cushion under the head. This time it's all about the legs. Bring your legs as close together as you can. So you might be able to stick them together, or they might be with your feet a little bit apart. Doesn't matter, just as close as you can get them. Still thinking that bottom slightly tucking under. Take your breath in. Imagine someone has got hold of your legs and just stretching them long. As you breathe out, we're just going to try and lift the legs up. Now we say up, it's not going very far, and you might feel that your thighs, I've still got my thighs on the floor, about half my thigh. Might be able to take it a bit higher, and then take it down. Now I find if I take it too high, my back gets a bit tight. Takes a little bit of work for me for that one. Breath in. Breath out, keeping that bottom slightly tucked under. We're going to lengthen the legs and bring them up. take them down. So you might find that they feel like they're sort of millimeters off the floor. That's okay. You can feel them lengthen, and you can feel the energy going into it, lifting. It's a great one for back strength, this one. But if you tighten the lower back, really helps to keep that bottom feeling like it's a little bit tucked under. Last one. Take the feet apart, let the bottom have a little wriggle, little sway. And then we're going to mix it up a little bit. We're going to take a breath in. As you breathe out, just bring your head and chest up off your hands. And then take it down. And then breathe in. And take your legs up. Take it down as you breathe in. Bring your head up as you breathe out. Down with your head, breathe in. Legs up. And we feel almost like you're rocking between these two positions. It's part of a Pilates move called the Swan. This is a version of it. We've just broken it down into different sections. And you might find you get a little bit higher, or you might find you stay the same. Last ones. And then let your legs go wide and your arms go wide. Maybe your head goes to one side. And then 2 positions you could go in. If you're okay on your knees, I would push back with wide legs and just take it back to what we often call child. And that might be like this. You might go further down. You might have your forehead on the floor. You might even have your bum in the air a little bit. If you don't like things on your knees, instead, I would roll onto your back. Can't do that quite as elegantly. And then take your legs wide into your chest and rock that way. So you're either like this, which is a little bit like Happy Baby, or you're in this sort of child position. And you can let your bum have that little wiggle. You can see it's the same position, just one is face down and the other is face up. Just having a little wiggle from side to side. It might be your head's up and you're just leaning from one side to the other. Or you can just stay still and breathe into it. And then take yourself up to sitting. And then I want you to sit comfortably. So that might be that you like to sit cross-legged. It might be you like one leg like this, or you've got your legs long. Don't mind. I think I am going to keep my legs long. As long as you can sit upright, we're good. So we're just going to roll our heads down, put a small curve in the back, and if I show you from the side, like a C sort of shape. Now, if you've got osteoporosis, that's as far as you want to go. If you haven't, and you're comfortable, you might make it a little bit more of a curly shape. And then we're all going to rock forwards. You can feel it on your sitting bones. Slide your hands towards you, and then slide them a little bit further back, so that your chest is going up with your back's arching slightly. Slide them forwards, making that soft C, maybe a curlier C. And then sliding back, sliding this way, pushing forwards. Pushing this chest upwards rather than your head tilting back by itself. One more, taking it forwards. You can lengthen your feet. And then as you come back, you can pull those toes towards you. Oh, that feels good. I'm going to come around in this position. I'm going to have my legs crossed now. So just circling those shoulders again. That's it. Let's take a breath in and bring the shoulders up. Feel them rising, and now with that breath out, feel them lowering. Turn your palms upwards, do the same. Breath in, bring the shoulders up. Breath out, let them melt downwards. One more like this, breath in, shoulders up. Breath out, melting down. Take your hands and rub them. If you're like me with cold hands, you might have to rub really quite hard to get a bit of warmth between the palms and the fingers. So we're really trying to get a bit of heat. It takes a long time for me. And then, when you can feel there's a bit of warmth there, we're going to take these palms and put them over our eyes. Oh, I can feel the fingers tingle. And try not to let your head go back. You're just keeping it so that your head is supported by your palms and your fingers. Let your fingers just soften on your face, and then open your eyes so you've got little tiny bits of light coming through, and then you can peep all the way out. Arms out to the side, palms outwards. Take a breath in. Bring your arms up. Have a look at them, pinken the fingers. Bring it into the chest. Give yourself a clap. Well done. I'll be here again next week. I hope you have a good week. Let me know what you thought, if you enjoyed the session, and I'll see you again then. Bye.